If you work out of a shop or perhaps you work out of your own garage, then you can for the most part control your environment or at least make it better suited for you and your working conditions. So if it's really hot outside, you can get a fan, or you may not have an AC unit, but you can kind of not be completely beat down by the heat or by the cold. Now, if you're a mobile detailer and you actually go out to the customer's location, that's a different story. Now, if you're a detailer, you can end up in a shop, in someone's garage, at someone's home location and detail in their garage. And a lot of times you can also end up just in the driveway, in a business center, in a parking lot, detailing someone's car. And depending on the conditions outside, it can get rather bad. Personally, I'm usually outside, and here in Texas, the heat and the weather can get kind of crazy. And for the most part, I'm in heat. And one of the more frequent questions people ask me is, hey, how do you handle the heat? How do you keep yourself cooled down? What do you do? So in this video, I'm gonna give you my simple tips that I use to keep hydrated and cooled when I'm working out on a driveway or wherever it may be during the heat. Number one is I always take a hat and my sunglasses at the bare minimum. If you take nothing else, at least take that, because you don't want the heat just pounding on your face the entire time. That's gonna suck during and it's gonna suck afterwards when you're all burnt up and your cheeks are all red and they're sensitive. So at the minimum, take some sunglasses and a hat just to give you some bare minimum coverage on your face. Also, it's not that healthy for your eyes, or it's not that safe for you to just have nothing but the sun pointing straight into your eyes, or being in the sun so long with the heat and the sun, it's not good for your eyes also. So sunglasses, definitely, even if it's like some cheap $10 sunglasses that you can buy at your local store or whatever, something to just put some shade in front of your eyes is very helpful. Number two is, I'm not sure if it's really something that helps you with the heat, but I always wear pants when I go out to detail. I see a lot of details always wear shorts, and it's kind of comfortable, you can breathe better. But if it's really hot, you're gonna be sweating a lot. And depending what you're doing on the vehicle, especially if it's in the interior and you're wearing shorts, you're gonna get that sweat all across the interior. So if you're cleaning the seats, they're leather, or you're moving around and if you have shorts on and your skin's exposed, and if you already clean the section, your sweat's gonna keep on rubbing off on a lot of parts of the car. So to avoid that, or at least minimize it, is wearing pants seriously does help. And if the vehicle itself is dirty, then I don't want that coming straight in contact with my leg. That's just how I am. And the same thing goes for the exterior. If you're cleaning wheels, the brake dust, instead of getting on your legs, you just get on your pants. Or if you're working and you have to get on your knees for a little bit, it's gonna be, your pants are gonna give you a bit more cushion. If needed, you can also wear knee pads. But that's just a side note in terms of if it's hot and I know I'm gonna be sweating a lot, then wearing pants is better than shorts, because the sweat doesn't travel everywhere across the car when I'm working on it. So not much of a tip on how to minimize it, but just another thing to keep in mind when you're working in the heat. Number three is, you should definitely and always take sunblock. Just keep it in your car if you're mobile. Even if you're at a shop, always have sunblock on hand. It's a real basic, obvious, common thing to follow, is put sunblock if you're gonna be out in direct sun. Next is, you've got to stay hydrated. That's drinking water, Powerade, Gatorade. Not so much just soda, as that's not the best hydrating liquid you could drink, but water, Gatorade, Powerade to keep you hydrated. Now, I know as mobile detailers, we'll run into the problem of, I need to stay hydrated, I need to drink liquids, but at the same time, I don't have a restroom in my van. Either the customer's not home, either, I'm kind of shy or embarrassed to ask them to use the restroom. Whatever the case may be, we can't drink just as much water as we possibly want because we don't have a restroom at our hand whenever we want it. So what I personally do is I really manage how I'm consuming the water. I'm not gonna drink 4 water bottles in the first 2 hours, because obviously that's gonna trigger me to go to the restroom. But what I do is, number one is, if it's a hot day, then I'll drink liquids as I'm going to the customer's location. Before I get there, I'll pass by a gas station to just take care of business. And second is, when I'm on the job site itself, I'll try to manage how much water I'm drinking. I don't drain myself, but I do just keep a general eye out on how much water I'm consuming, so I can kind of play it out for the duration that I'm there. And if I am on the job site for 8, 9, 10 hours, then I'll take a 30-45 minute break in between that detail to go eat, to use the restroom, just to get hydrated, and then I'll go back to keep on working. And another simple tip is just simply get a towel, wet it down with some water, just carry water in a bottle, in a spray bottle, spray, and just frequently wipe your face, wipe your neck, wipe your arms, because you're gonna be sweating. So constantly do that just to kind of keep the sweat off your body, so you're not all sticky, you're not dripping it all over the car or just whatever you're working on. So that's also a quick little tip you can do to kind of manage your sweat while you're working in the heat. Lastly, you absolutely have to take breaks throughout the detail. Even if it's for 2, 3, 5 minutes, just a simple break, go to your van or sit on the back of your van, just cool down, get that towel, the wet towel, rub it on your face, turn the AC on for a little bit, just something to cool yourself down for a bit, because you don't not want to be outside in the dead heat or in the cold and just work for 6, 7, 8 hours at a time. You need to give your body a break. As much as you want to finish that fast quicker to make more money and to get at the customer's location, perhaps go on to your next customer, to go to see your family, whatever the case may be, you've got to give your body that break to work efficiently for a prolonged period of time. And I'm thinking, if you're doing this as a business, then, months and years, you got to keep that in mind, because you're not just doing it for that single day and that's going to be it. If you're trying to do this for, the next 5 years, then you need to think about your health for long term, and, beating yourself up for the first 2, 3 years with just, constant pounding to your body of working isn't that great. Now, you can also go and get yourself a canopy. That's always an option, but number one is you need to have the vehicle to able to carry that canopy. So if you're using a small vehicle like this, not the best solution for the heat, and also it does take time to open it up, to set it up, and to break it down. And if you have anything more than a good gust of wind come through, you could potentially raise up the canopy, the legs can hit a side of the vehicle, fly somewhere else, damage something else, because you need to keep it weighted down, and you're gonna have to carry more stuff, or you're gonna have to, whatever the case may be, it's a lot more headaches to carry a canopy. So if you have the vehicle to do so, if you have the extra help to do that, that's a great option, but I wouldn't look at that as my first solution to the heat. Your next best bet is to always try to detail in shade. So if you are in a driveway at a customer location, or if you are in a parking lot in a business center, try to look for the shade, see if it's possible to maneuver the car to a shade, or at least time the shade and move the vehicle to where eventually the shade's gonna be. So obviously if you're starting to, depending on where you are and how the sun's moving, just try to see if you can, like in the next 3 hours, the shade will move towards you and you'll be covered for a good while. So keep that in the back of your head to manage where the shade's going, and if you can get to it, great, or if you can position yourself to get that shade, that's also good too. Okay, so those are the 5, 6, 7 tips that I have for managing heat. I would love to hear your feedback so it can help me, because I'm not the best. This is one of the most scientific, advanced formula to manage heat. So if you have anything better, if you have something that would help others, leave that comment down below so we can all learn from it. So leave that comment down below, like this video, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.